Hey chickies. Okay, today we are doing a mani inspired by the new but very controversial Instagram logo. Now, I'm not sure about you, what you thought when you first saw it. The very first thing I thought of was, what a pretty gradient. That's really pretty. I could do nail art inspired by that for absolute sure. Now, I posted a photo of this mani on Instagram and asked if anybody, what people's opinion was, and overwhelmingly it was negative. But not only the logo, but the whole new layout changed because it's all sort of focused on black and white, mostly white. I think I don't mind the new layout. It's not a concern for me at all, but the logo change is a huge decision for a company. Like, can you imagine if Target all of a sudden decided to change their logo from that circle to a triangle or a square or something like that? Like, people would literally have kittens. So, like, I'm sure that they've been working on this for a very long time and they think they've got it right. But even on their own post of, their announcement, people were not happy because change is hard to accept. And it wasn't as if they built up to it. It was bang. Or as far as I know anyway, it was just like, bang, here it is. And you don't have any choice and this is it. So I think Instagram are making some pretty huge mistakes in relation to the things that they're changing over the last over the last year or so. The things that they've changed have not been, in my opinion, have not been driven with the user in mind. It's more with their bottom line in mind. And I think that's really sad because I love Instagram. But yeah, anyway, seems like I've been talking quite a bit. Anyway, sorry. Let's get into this. I really hope you like it. Just at least the gradient anyway. As we're doing a gradient, I'm also going to be using Simply Peel by Bliss Kiss to protect the skin around my nails. The polish I'm using is from Pipe Dream Polish. You're basically going to need a neon purple, pink, blue, orange and yellow. Of course, my white base is OPI's Alpine Snow. I'll also be using a pre-dampened latex-free sponge. All the details about everything I use will be in the description box down below, including links, because I'm helpful that way. Okay, so to start the gradient, you're just going to paint the polish onto your sponge. And as you can see from the logo itself, it's got yellow in one corner, blue in another corner, and then the other colors are sort of dispersed around, around the nail. I didn't do it correctly when I first put the polish on because I put the blue in the wrong corner, but because blue and purple are in the same kind of family, I was able to get away with that. And I just added more blue to the other opposite corner after the first dab. As with every gradient, you'll just keep repeating the process until you get to the strength of color that you're after. And that could be 2 goes, 3 goes, 4 goes. It really does just depend on the type of polish that you're using and the colors. Your gradient is complete. I recommend that you take off whatever it is that you're using to protect the skin around your nails straight away. It's best not to leave that to dry for too long. Then all you need to do is the teensiest little bit of cleanup. I'm using my Royal Majestic brush and my non-acetone remover as per usual. far as I'm concerned, that gradient could just stay the way it is. You don't have to do anything else to it. You don't have to add the logo to it. It's just a really beautiful gradient. But because I'm going to be doing some extra work on this, I'm going to add a coat of Seche Vite. And what that does is helps to blend and smooth out the gradient and make it really luscious and yum. This particular mani, I decided to do some lettering. Gosh, I don't know why. I hate doing lettering because I always stuff it up. But anyway, I decided to do it. I'm using some black acrylic craft paint, and this is the lettering that I've got on my index, my middle, and my pinky. Completely optional. In fact, you probably don't want to do this, but I thought I'd show it to you anyway. Now the next step is to do the logo. Now initially I was going to paint it directly onto my nail, then I changed my mind. Because my nail is quite curved, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do a great job. I'm not saying that I did a great job in the end anyway, but instead I decided to use my Simply Neat Miracle Matte from Bliss, paint the logo on there and create a little decal. I'm just using a white acrylic paint. You can use polish for this if you want to, although polish is a little bit more difficult to work with. And I'm not 100% sure that I like what I did, but it was a better alternative than trying to paint it directly on my nail, that's for sure. So even though the design is relatively simple, it's a lot harder than it looks, I think, to be honest. It's a square with rounded edges, but it's a very precise kind of design. So just didn't do a very good job. I don't think I did. And I'm not trying to be self-depreciating or self-deprecating, whichever is the best way to pronounce that word. I don't know. Anyway, no, I'm not being that. I'm not saying that because I then want you to all tell me how fabulous I am, because that's absolutely not what I'm trying to do here. Now, with this paint, it dries pretty quickly. So once I had the general shape, I'm then going to come in with an orange wood stick, and I'm going to scrape out the bits that I don't want. You'll see in a moment. So now I have the general design, and the outline especially is completely dry, and I'm coming in with the pointy end of an orange wood stick and scraping out the bits that I don't like. Because it's dry, it's actually you've got to still be very careful, but if you're very gentle, you can actually get this done. Like if I can do it, you can definitely do it. Not sure if you can actually see the bit on the right hand side or on the side where there's a little bit of smudged white paint, and I'm just using some isopropyl alcohol and a small paintbrush to take that off. I don't know why I didn't use this, but the Simply Neat Miracle Matte comes with 4 black squares that you can use to... Anyway, I should have used those. Then you would have been able to see really clearly what I was doing, but anyway. So I'm just using the isopropyl alcohol on the outside and in and around the area just to smooth the design out a little bit more. So we want to top coat that little logo design that we've created. I'm using Picture Polish's Looking Glass. I always use that when I'm creating decals because I find it's the best one to do that with. It's kind of a thin top coat, but it's still fast drying. So once the logo was completely dry, I peeled it off the silicone mat, trimmed off the excess, then I put another coat of Looking Glass on my nail and then placed the logo on the nail. Now once you have the logo on your nail, you want to work pretty fast. You want to press that down onto the still wet nail and then smooth out any of the creases. And then finally, once everything is smoothed out, you can add your final top coat. I'm using, of course, Seche Vite as per usual. And that's it for this one. I really hope you like it. Even if you don't like the new logo, you can at least like the gradient. I know change is a hard thing. It's a really, really hard thing. I think this is the least of the changes that they've made, you know, the least awful thing. I don't mind it. I really don't. I like the new layout, as I said before. I like the logo. I think it's pretty. Um, the only thing I don't like about Instagram at the moment is they're faffing about with the algorithms and things, and I don't like the idea of a computer telling me what I like, because I think I know what I like, you know? Anyway, now before I finish this, I wanted to show you this. I added a coat of Starrily's Magic Rainbow Hollow Yumminess to this, and I think maybe that Instagram should go back to the drawing board and just add one of these, like a sparkly rainbow top coat, to their logo, and everybody would just love it, of course. Anywho, thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, Tickies. Oh, and thank you for subscribing, and thanks for that delicious thumbs up. Bye.